Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Birmingham. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are today, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. A big shout out and our thanks to Patty and Donna and the stewardship team for hosting a lovely dinner last night. Thank you for all of your efforts. I also want to invite you to our book discussion on February 25th, where we will discuss The Fifth Little Girl, the story of Sarah Collins Rudolph. There are donated copies of this book in the church office, and you don't have to read it all before you come to the discussion, but we do hope you'll be able to at least touch into a little bit of it before the discussion. Please pick up your copy if you would like to join us. To all who are here this morning, welcome home.
If you would like to participate or comment on our service, especially during our sharings of joys and sorrows, please use the chat feature in YouTube. Thank you to all the participants and attendees who joined us last night for this year's stewardship dinner. Please send in your pledge forms to confirm your membership for the next year. You can send in a paper copy or use the digital Google form. Thank you for your support of our church. Tomorrow evening, Care and Share is sponsoring another of their coffee hours. Feel free to drop in and say hello to friends. Thursday evening, Reverend Julie will be offering a book discussion on The Fifth Little Girl, the story of Sarah Collins Rudolph at 6:30 p.m. Please join your email for links to these virtual events. Please check out this morning's announcement.
Hi, this is Melanie Gear. I am here representing the Justice Committee to let you know that our Share the Plate recipient this month, TAKE, which stands for Transgender Advocates, Knowledgeable and Empowering, has let us know that they could use more than our financial donations. TAKE is also in need of women's undergarments and socks, in addition to women's clothing size 4 through 12. So this last week in February, we're going to put a box out in front of the church, and if you are able to bring by any new undergarments or socks, or if you have clothing to share, size 4 through 12, please come by this week, put it in the box, and we will share those things with Take in early March. So we really appreciate it. Have a great week. Thank you so much.
The prelude prepares us for worship. On my worst days, it is gravity I am most grateful for. The way the earth pulls at me from her core, yearns for me, keeps me pressed tightly against her surface. When my own core is hollowed out, when I have no more mass than a leaf dead on the branch, still, this is enough for the earth to find me. She reaches for what little I have and says, stay. Every meditation I ever done begins by asking me to ground myself. This is not so much an action as it is an inaction, surrender, a voluntary abandonment of my own edges and tidy packaging. Sit with me now. Press the soles of your feet back into the ground and you sprang from. Feel the weight of your body and know that it is glorious. You are born of soil and sun, and all the heaviness of the earth is a call to you. The earth is reaching for you. Reach back, reach back.
Touch the earth, reach the sky, walk on shores while spirits fly, over the ocean, over the land, our faith a quest to understand. Touch the earth, reach the sky, children ask the reasons why, in our lives the answers show, and by our love they learn and grow. Touch the earth, reach the sky, all are born and all shall die. Life's the time left in between, to follow a star, to build a dream. Touch the earth, reach the sky, hug the laughter, feel the cry. May we see where we can give, for this is what it means to live. Touch the earth, reach the sky, soar with courage ever high, spirits joining as we fly, to touch the earth, to reach the sky.
Our church is supported by those who call our church home, and by those who support our church's efforts to change our world for the better. We share our cash plate every Sunday with organizations whose work reflects UU values: to care for marginalized persons, advocate for real and systemic change, defend our environment, and promote justice and equity for all. This month's Share the Plate recipient is TAKE. TAKE stands for Transgender Advocates, Knowledgeable, Empowering, and is a resource for trans persons of color in Birmingham. TAKE connects clients to gender health services, medical care, housing needs, and a supportive community. During this time of social distancing and online worship, please know that our church expenses continue. Therefore, we very much appreciate you continuing to pay or your pledge or offer your donation by either mailing a check to the church office or by using PayPal or Venmo. Our Venmo account is at UUCBHAM. Please designate whether your offering is for UUCB or TAKE. Thank you for your generous support of our church and our Share the Plate recipient. May we give in love and hope.
As part of our Spiritual Practices of Leonardo da Vinci series, we have asked some of you to share answering some questions about our theme for the week. We are about to hear from some church folks who will share what a special meal means to them. And so I invite you to hear those in just a moment. If you would like to share for next week's service, our question is, if you could converse with any historical figure, who would it be and why? I invite you to submit your videos by Tuesday evening by emailing them to me, and we will include it in next week's service. And now, here are our friends discussing what makes a meal special to them.
Makes a meal special to me is if it's homemade and if I'm sitting with my mom or dad or myself.
And what makes a meal special to me is if it's infused with the energy of love from whoever's preparing it. I love a good home-cooked meal or even a beautiful meal at a mom-and-pop restaurant that's made with a lot of intention of yum goodness.
I've had amazing meals all over this land, but some of the meals I've had in other lands underscore the idea that a really amazing meal can be just as much about the experience and the company as the food. We're going to start across the Pacific in Yokosuka, Japan. That's where my friend Bethany took me and my brother to a little restaurant run by a husband and wife. We told her, have your husband cook whatever he wants to cook and keep sending it out until we say stop. We finally got enough, and it was amazing. In northern Israel, in Daliat al-Carmel, just outside Haifa, I went to a little Druze restaurant run by a husband and wife with my friend the Rabbi Aaron Boxt. In this picture, he's showing pictures of his children to the couple that runs the restaurant. My mother and I, when we were in Marrakesh, Morocco, we went to the Jamal Fna Square, and we made our meal one evening by cruising around all the food stalls in the square. We did skip the stall that had the whole roasted sheep heads. But one of the more interesting meals I've had was in southern Argentina, in Ushuaia. I was sitting at a little Irish pub that had sushi, and sharing that meal with total strangers from 6 continents. It's one of those meal experiences that I will remember for the rest of my life.
What makes a meal satisfying to me? It just gets rid of those silly cravings and hunger pains. But I always use a meal as a gauge to improve the next meal I prepare. I have learned from church how to make vegan meals using substitutions to make a meal compatible for vegans.
Having my family all together is what makes a meal extremely special for me.
As we enter our meditative space, we invite this time where we share what is going on in our hearts and minds this morning. I ask you to lift up Katie Jackiel and her family over the loss of her father this past week. Please keep Katie in your thoughts and prayers and their whole family over the loss of her father this week. We also celebrate with Gerda Carmichael, who celebrated her 91st birthday this past week. Happy birthday, Gerda. Using the chat feature in YouTube, by speaking it aloud, or by sharing it in your heart, please lift up and give voice to what is on your heart today. Our spoken meditation this morning was written by Reverend Lisa Bovey-Kemper, and it is a blessing on our bodies. I invite you to do the motions with me this morning. If you'd like, please touch your hands to your own forehead. May you be blessed with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. May your intellect take you far on your journey. You have been blessed with reason and free will. It is your call every day to use these gifts. Now, touch your throat. May you be blessed with voice. May you learn the complex nature of truth-telling. The ability to speak the truth in love is something that requires honesty, empathy, and care. You are challenged every day to seek the joy that comes with sharing your truth compassionately, as well as listening to others. Please touch your heart. May your heart be full and blessed with love. May you know the agony of heartbreak as it is intertwined with the elation of true love. Your heart is a strong and resilient organ, one that will be with you until the end of your time on earth. May you heed the wisdom of your heart and always trust the truth it tells. Please touch your abdomen. You are blessed with the gift of sexuality. May you always remember that you are a beloved child of God and the universe. Your body is sacred and belongs to you alone. May you live into the full expression of your identity as a human being, embracing your true sexual and gender identity. The gift of sexuality brings with it many rewards, as well as great responsibility. May you always retain power over your own being, striving toward mutually fulfilling and just relationship. Please clasp your hands. When you were a baby, your tiny hands were your first contact with the world. Before you could see more than a few feet in front of your face, you grasped the finger of your loved ones. You catch yourself with your hands when you fall, and you express love and comfort to others with them as well. May your hands be gentle and strong. May you use them to carry light into the darkness and rest to the weary. May your hands always find the place of greatest need, beginning with your own. And may the Creator of all things hold you in the palm of her hand wherever you go. Finally, if you will wrap your arms around your body. May you be blessed on your journey. May you remember that growth happens on the journey and that you are never alone. May you always remember that you are a whole person, that each of these parts work together. We offer our blessings upon you, body, mind, and spirit. May you be guided by compassion and truth, justice and love. May you find rest on the journey, always remembering where you came from, being mindful that your ancestors stand behind you, whether we are present on earth or have gone back to the soul of the world. May you be blessed in all things and carry blessings with you wherever you go. Acknowledging the beauty in all of our bodies, we say together, Amen and blessed be. For our meditative music this morning, in light of our theme of corporalita, grace, ambidexterity, fitness, and poise, we will be sharing a video from our friends at Paintbrush Unitarian Universalist in Maryland. Please note that this video is a liturgical performance dance and not American Sign Language music interpretation. We are so thankful that they are here with us this morning and for sharing this beautiful artistry with us. Please enjoy.
How much more are we gonna take? How many nights do we have to lie awake? How many tears are we gonna cry? We can't wish until the well runs dry. But what happens when the sky above runs out of every single shooting star? And what if every good intention's only meant to go so far? Only love can save us now. Keep the world from burning down, down, down to the ground, ground, ground. Only love can look inside a human heart and see us for who we are. And who we are, Vienna. If only there was only love, only love, only love, only love. How many lessons have we really learned? How many bridges could we cross instead of burn? Why do we find it hard to forgive? Are we so blind and that it's easy to forget? Only love can save us now. Keep the world from burning down, down, down to the ground, ground, ground. Only love can look inside a human heart and see us for who we are and who we are, Vienna. If only there was only love, only love, only love, only love, only love, only love, only love. So what happens when the sky above runs out of every single shooting star? And what if every good intention's only meant to go so far? Only love can save us now. Keep the world from burning down, down, down to the ground, ground, ground. Only love can look inside a human heart and see us for who we are and who we are, Vienna. If
Good morning. Will the children please come forward? So it is just an absolutely beautiful day this Tuesday. I woke up this morning and the ground was covered in snow. And then I went on the computer to my Facebook and I was just so happy to see everyone playing in the snow. And it inspired me to tell you a story about a man who loved snow and who really wanted to show people the beauty in it. Now, his name was Willie Bentley. And as a young boy, he would play in the snow for hours and hours. And he really loved it. And he really saw the beauty in it. And he saw it as beautiful as apple blossoms or butterflies. And he really loved to share the beauty of nature. But it was very upsetting to him because he was not able to share the beauty of snow. So one day his mom gave him a microscope. And he used that microscope to look at everything. He looked at flowers and grass and rain and snow. And as he looked at the snow, he started to discover that no two snowflakes seemed to be alike. And this was really fascinating to him, and he really wanted to share that with other people, but he didn't know how. One day he found an advertisement for a camera that had a microscope on it. And he thought, I could do this. I could take pictures of these snowflakes and I could share that. So he convinced his family, even though they weren't really 100% sure, to purchase this. They spent all of their savings on this camera and he purchased it. Now, the first year that he had it, he did not catch any photographs of any snowflakes. And the second year, towards the end of the winter, he got one, but it was blurry. Now, by the third year, he started to get his technique down and he started to get pictures. Now, some years he would only get 20 pictures. Some years he would get hundreds. But he really just wanted to share these with the world. He would give his pictures away. Sometimes he would sell them for a few cents. Universities and colleges, they started to see these photos and they started to purchase some every year. They would purchase more and more. And he started to become known as the snowflake guy. And he started to become popular in circles. And scientists and professors, they all really enjoyed his work. And they really thought that his work needed to be preserved and it needed to be shared. So they all got together and they raised enough money so he could make his first book. So shortly after his book was published, he walked 6 miles in a snowstorm so he could capture more photos. And sadly, he did catch pneumonia and he did pass away right after that book was published. And about 40 years later, his hometown of Jericho, Vermont, they decided that he needed a museum, that his work was very important. So they built a museum. And you can go there and you can see all of his photos. You can even see his first camera. And now the snowflake man, William Bentley, shows us that when you really put your mind to something, when you really persevere, and how important it is to share that with others and to keep going. And we can now appreciate the beauty of snowflakes thanks to him. I hope you all enjoyed your day today in the snow. Thank you so much. Please join me in singing our song.
One, each person is worthwhile. 2, be kind in all you do. 3, we help each other learn. 4, and search for what is true. 5, all people get a vote. 6, build a just and peaceful world. 7, we take care of the earth. That will bring us back to me and you too.
This past summer, we enrolled Ezio in some socially distant, masked soccer practice for 2-year-olds. It was, as you might expect, hilarious. Most of the kids were still learning how to move their bodies as they wished them to go. And so with the added dimension of kicking a soccer ball, it was a new challenge. During soccer, Ezio was experimenting with how his body was affected by gravity. From a standing upright position, he would fall over like a rag doll and lie face first on the ground without extending his hands to brace his fall. He would always do this on a soft surface, carpet or grass, and would usually fall as an expression of boredom and hoping for laughter. The other parents were a bit horrified by his act, especially when we, as his parents, laughed instead of acting concerned. But we knew the reaction our little clown was hoping for. We Unitarian Universalists have a strange relationship to the human body. Many of us are obsessed with our minds and struggle to reconcile the idea of spiritual essence, whether we prefer the term spirit or soul. Our bodies are a different story. On the one hand, we teach our children and youth, starting in kindergarten, the importance of how their bodies work, what healthy interaction with other folks looks like, and we teach our children the medical terminology for their body parts and their functions. We affirm for our children that some people are born with uteruses and others are born without, and that it's none of our business unless we enter into a romantic covenant. We support our children who tell us that we mislabel them, and we strive to do better. Our whole lives, our comprehensive sex education curriculum that is used around the country is one of the most tangible successes of our faith tradition. We want people of all sexualities and identities to feel welcome, safe, and loved in the walls of our church. On one hand, we affirm all kinds of people. We love people regardless of skin color, size, ability, or whether they dress up for service or wear Hawaiian shirts. On the other hand, we struggle within our own bodies. We struggle with the changes of aging or health conditions. We struggle with chronic pain and needing accommodations, even temporarily. We struggle with our complicated relationship to food. We struggle to understand each other's bodies and other folks' needs for accommodation. We want to encourage mental health work and yet struggle to be compassionate when someone is in the midst of that work. We want people to call us by the names and pronouns that we ask them to, whether we change our name due to marriage or transition. We struggle to understand bodies that aren't like ours, and at the same time hope for compassion and understanding with our own needs. We all have work to do. Our relationship with our bodies and other bodies is complicated. If I were to ask you how you feel about your body, your physical self, would you give me a positive, affirming statement? I'm not going to ask, because the very question feels invasive and shaming and brings up for many past trauma. I'm not going to ask how you feel about your body today. What I am challenging you to do in this service is to explore the spiritual practice of Leonardo da Vinci called corporalita, the cultivation of grace, ambidexterity, fitness, and poise. Corporalita is a principle that can be adapted to your specific body, just as you are. Leonardo's work with the body was one of appreciation. He especially considered the ways the mind and soul interacted with the body. He was body positive and sex positive, and also worked on gracefulness, fitness, poise, and ambidexterity to integrate his body, soul, and mind. He unconditionally loved and accepted his own body. This week is all about corporalita, mindfully examining your body, how it works, and how often it moves. Mindfully sitting with a more body-affirming posture, raising your arm up and down, turning your head to stretch your neck, or even just reflecting on what you are grateful for with your own body. One of the exercises in your spiritual practice box this week is to make a meal special, even by simply creating a chalice out of some clay and lighting it at dinner. As I've discussed before, the mere idea of eating by candlelight brings us into more mindfulness and community with each other. Some of our church members offered to share some ways that they cultivate grace, ambidexterity, fitness, and poise. You may just watch or do the exercises along with them, per your doctor's recommendations. You can also watch and then come back later and do the exercises with them as well. First, you'll hear from David Roberts, who currently leads a Qigong class on Zoom at 9:30 on Saturday mornings as part of our adult enrichment program at the church. So if you enjoy this particular presentation, feel free to join his class. Enjoy these offerings. I'll see you in a moment.
Hey, I'm Dave Roberts. I do Qigong exercises, which is a form of Chinese health work. And I do it to gain stability and mental and physical balance. It also gives me creative ideas. And well, you might wonder what Qigong is. Let me give you a few forms and see what ideas come out of it. Hold on just a moment. For those of you who might have trouble backing up and driving in the car, this is the wise old owl looks backwards. Our wings are out, body in formation. We bring our arms over, back, arm over and back. That palm is facing backwards. Both palms are facing backwards. Good. And now, for those of you who are young at heart and like dragons, bring your palms together, namaste, arms straight out, legs bent. And we're going to move our head this way and put our body on that right leg. Exhale as we go back. Inhale, exhale as we go out. Inhale. That's Qigong. And what new ideas did I get from that? Well, I didn't get any new ideas, but I did get one that I use a lot. And I remember it. It's, I can breathe my way through anything. I can breathe my way through anything. See ya at the coffee break.
Namaste, which is a simple way of saying hello. Hi, I'm Linnell. I'm going to share a little bit of my yoga practice with you today. We're going to start with a breath practice called Breath of Fire, Vastrika breath, also known as bellows breath. If you can imagine the bellows of a fireplace pumping air into the fire, this is the motion that your abdomen is going to be making. It's an equal inhale and exhale and a rapid breath. If you are struggling with high blood pressure, we're going to have you just do some long, deep breathing. Everyone else can practice this. It's almost like a pant. If you can imagine your tongue out, panting like a dog, that's what it sounds like and feels like in your body, but we're not going to do it with our tongue out. The mudra, the hand gesture for this practice, is going to be with your thumbs extended. The thumb represents the element of fire in the finger mudras. It also, in my lineage of yoga, represents the ego. And this exercise is actually called Ego Eradicator. So your arms are outstretched. Science has shown that when we do this posture with our arms outstretched, it improves the feel-good chemicals in our body and actually boosts our confidence. So thumbs extended. The fingers are bent, curled into your palm. Your arms at a 60-degree angle. If your eyes are closed, focus your eye gaze to your third eye point to stimulate the glands in your brain. And we are going to begin. An inhale and exhale in a rapid breath of fire. Inhale, hold the breath, connect the thumbs, extend the fingers like little antenna. Exhale, keep the posture. Inhale, bring the energy up the spine, apply Mudaband, which means you're tightening the rectum, sex organs, holding that energy, extending up, up, up. And as you exhale, sweeping your aura all the way back down. Just sit with that energy in your body. You've just oxygenated your blood. Take a few breaths. Now we're going to do an arm pump. An arm pump is your hands clasped, and we're going to raise our arms up and down with an inhale and an exhale. It's as if you're chopping wood. You want to envision you're chopping the things out of your way that no longer serve you. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. All right. And we've got our body warmed up. We're going to do camel ride. You can do this in a cross-legged seated position. You can also do this seated in a chair easily. I like to do this in what's called rock pose, where you're sitting on your heels with your hands on your thighs. Your head is facing forward. You don't move your head with this. You're simply keeping your gaze forward and you're bending your spine back and forth. So it's a great spinal flex exercise to bring the energy from the sacrum up the spine. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. This is a wonderful thing to do in the morning when you first wake up, to get fluids moving up your spine after being prostrate. And come back to a stillness. And the last exercise we'll do either standing if you are able. If not, you can do this seated in a chair. If you're seated in a chair, you're simply going to be moving your legs back and forth in a little kicking motion. Standing, put your hands on your hips, and we're going to just move a little side to side, a little kicking motion. It's as if you're kicking things out of your path, your obstacles in life. And if you want a little bit more energy to this exercise, you can do it in a little bit of a jump. Come back to a stillness. We're going to close out with a chant, a simple chant of Satnam, S-A-T-N-A-M. It's pronounced like S-U-T, Satnam. We're going to say that 3 times. Satnam is a Sikh reference to the everlasting truth, the truth that is your truth, the truth that is your identity. Inhale, exhale, and then chant with me. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam. Thank you for sharing this practice with me today. May the truth be in our minds, in all our words, and in our hearts.
Tai Chi began in China many hundreds of years ago, probably evolving out of Chinese martial arts. It includes a series of body movements or forms that are performed sequentially, flowing smoothly from one into the next. Regular practice of Tai Chi fosters the development of flexibility, strength, balance, and inner calm. I will demonstrate a few of the movements that are part of the Sun style of Tai Chi. Commencement. Open and close, borrowed from Qigong. Single whip. Wave hands like clouds. Brush knee. Play the lute. Parry. And punch. Push mountain. Single whip. Punch under arm. Repulse monkey. Brush knee. Leisurely tying coat. Closing. Anytime.
Greetings to all of you from Notini Indian Dance. What a strange time it's been. We've all been separated from our friends, from our family. We've all been confined to our own houses. So for us dancers, this has been really difficult because we have not been able to come together for our usual dance classes, for the energy that we get from dancing together. But at the same time, when humans have had to stay inside their houses, I think we've all been amazed at how nature has been revived. And I think we have all drawn energy and peace from looking out at the skies, from watching the flowers bloom, at looking at wildlife playing freely, in this new peaceful times. So we in Notini decided that we would come together, do classes on Zoom, and create a piece that was dedicated to this beauty of nature. So we met over the cloud. And hence, we decided that for our music, we were going to pick a piece from ancient India. This is actually by a poet from many centuries ago. His name is Kalidas, and he wrote a piece called The Cloud Messenger. The Cloud Messenger is about Yaksha, who has been exiled from his wife, and he communicates with her via the cloud. So what more appropriate piece than these modern times? So, ladies and gentlemen, we bring you Kalidasa's Cloud Messenger, which was set to tune by Pandit Vishwa Mohan Bhatt, and which we of Notini have all choreographed together. Enjoy.
मार्गं तव शृणु मार्गं तव शृणु मार्गं तव शृणु कथयतः त्वत्प्रयाणानुरूपम् मार्गं तव शृणु मार्गं तव शृणु सन्देशं मे तदनु जलद श्रोष्यसि श्रोत्रपेयम् मार्गं तव शृणु मार्गं तव शृणु खिन्नः शिखरीषु पदमन्यस्य गन्तासि यत्र क्षीणः परिलघु पयः स्त्रोत्सा चोपभुज मार्गं तव शृणु मार्गं तव शृणु
Thank you so much to all of you for sharing with us today. It is important to understand our bodies, to move them mindfully, and to appreciate the bodies of others. It is also important to recognize when our bodies are agents of justice, when we show up to march in a protest, when we call our legislators, when we write letters, when we use our bodies as shields to protect others, when we show up to an event for no other reason than for solidarity, support, and allyship, when we learn more about each other. We should take a step back when we are considering telling someone what they can or can't do with their own body, when the issue at hand is not a public health issue. Our bodies are beautiful, uniquely ours, and are tools for justice. May you mindfully consider your body in new, more positive ways this week. May you look at the ways you think about others' bodies. May you affirm that your body, at this exact moment in time, is wonderful. May you be joyfully held in the heart of community until we are joyfully reunited in person. Amen and blessed be.
Please join together in our closing hymn.
Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you, through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Let a dancing song be heard. Play the music, say the words, and fill the sky with sailing birds. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Learn to follow, learn to lead. Feel the rhythm, feel the need. To reap the harvest, plant the seed. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you, through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Everybody turn and spin. Let your body learn to bend, and like a willow with the wind. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. A child is born, the old must die. A time for joy, a time to cry. Take it as it passes by. Let it be a dance. Let it be a dance we do. May I have this dance with you, through the good times and the bad times too. Let it be a dance. Morning star comes out at night. Without the dark there is no light. If nothing's wrong, then nothing's right. Let it be a dance, let it be a dance, let it be a dance. Let the sunshine, let it rain. Share the laughter, bear the pain. And round we go again. Let it be a dance.
Go in peace, speak the truth, give thanks each day. Respect the earth and her creatures, for they are alive like you. Care for your body. It is a wondrous gift. Live simply. Be of service. Be guided by your faith and not your fear. Go lightly on your path. Move in a sacred manner. Amen.